This is going to be a problem because this is just a test run. So, guys, congestion pricing here in New York City is going to be something that we're going to see in other cities. A lot of people seem to just think it's just New York City. There'll be other cities that will implement this as well, especially more cities that are run by Democrats will probably most likely do it, not excluding Republicans either, but I'm just saying most likely. Now, congestion pricing is bad news, guys, because what they're doing is essentially they're forcing you to not drive in the city, to take mass transit, so that mass transit could make money upon money. These guys are making millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars a year, and somehow they're always crying deficit. All right. So my issue with the congestion pricing is everything, the whole 9 yards. Whatever, every time they mention it, I'm like, I just find it an issue. I want to punch my TV set or kick it across the room, or because it's so flat, spin it across the room like a frisbee. Congestion pricing, guys, is the beginning of them forcing us into a lifestyle that they want us to adopt and not the other way around. They want us, they tell us that it's for the MTA to fix their infrastructure and all this other bullshit better. And it's also to, one argument I heard, to sort of combat the fare beating that they're seeing on the bus and in the subways. So, of course, now in the subways, they're trying to put more cops in the subway, not because of crime, but because of fare beating. I found that to be interesting. I saw that article the other day. I was like, wait, what? There are people getting shoved into the tracks, beat up and shot, and somehow fare beating takes precedence over actual safety. Anyway, some people argue, well, the fare beaters are usually the criminals. No. Let's stop that bullshit right now. A lot of the people who pay will still commit a crime. There are people who pay just to push people into the train tracks. So let's throw that bullshit out of the window. Now, congestion pricing, guys, at the peak hours of it, it's $15. I think the off-peak hours is $7, and then there's like a night price, like between 1 to 4 in the morning. It's like $3, some craziness like that. So now, here is the kick in the dick for those who drive into the city for work. If you drive across the George Washington Bridge, you have to pay, I think it's like $17 or $17 during peak hour, and I think off-peak hours is like $9 or something like that. So now you're crossing the bridge at peak hour, which everybody does to come to work. Very few people cross the bridge during off-peak hours to go to work. But let's just say peak hours, you're paying $17. Then you got to pay $15 when you get downtown. Again, peak hour, you're spending $32 a day to come to work. Now, some jobs are probably going to pay for that and back them up or subsidize it, however they're going to do it. But my issue is for firefighter, cops, EMT, sanitation, maybe corrections if they work downtown by the Tombs. A lot of us, with the exception of firefighters, everybody else works 5 days a week. Firefighters, we work probably anywhere between 2 to 4 days a week, depends. And if there's overtime. The problem lies is that if cops, EMTs, correction officers, sanitation workers, just city workers in general, are paying $15 to get to their job on top of the $17 at the George Washington Bridge and whatever price the other bridges are to get into the city. They're doing this also to combat traffic. So they think that if they implement this, there's going to be less traffic in the street, and there probably will. But that now means the subway system is going to be inundated with people, a large amount of people. That means more psych patients are going to be down there as well, having a choice of people they can throw in the tracks now. The safety issue is still not being addressed. They're addressing the fare beating issue, but they're not addressing the safety issue. Again, for someone who lives here in the city, I am watching the bullshit act that Hochul had going on with putting state troopers, National Guards, MTA police, and NYPD in the subways, and yet they're at the busiest subway stations where people go to work from, like 42nd Street, 34th Street, West 4, the busiest stations, maybe Canal Street, and there was another station they were at that I wasn't aware of. Whatever, it's not important. Still, that act was just to appease tourists and people want to come to the city and like, oh man, they're shoving people in the tracks like hotcakes. I'm not going down there. So they're probably a dip in tourism is why they did that. But now they're looking at the fare beating and they're like, how do we address this? We'll just put cops at the turnstiles. And they're not really turnstiles. Well, they're still turnstiles. Anyway, some of them not turnstiles anymore. Some of them like those open door things. Not the point. The point is, guys, is that this is all a money grab, and this is also a way to force us into a lifestyle they want. They don't want us driving our cars. They want less traffic. Congestion pricing. Congestion pricing also, which no one's talking about. I mean, not a single person has talked about this. Congestion pricing also affects the food we eat. A lot of trucks who go north of 60th Street, because that's where congestion pricing starts, south of 60th Street, all the way down to the Battery Tunnel. South of that, the trucks that go to the supermarket are going to be hit with a congestion price. In turn, every item that goes north of 60th Street is not going to be marked up. If you're eating at a restaurant, your favorite restaurant was, I don't know, the Hullabaloo restaurant, you know, they serve awesome Wagyu steak there. Your Wagyu steak now, that was $250, is going to easily be $300. Because there's also, businesses also use things to their, not advantage, but they abuse it as well. They're like, oh, the congestion pricing, let's mark it up anyway. Let's mark it up beyond belief. So now your Wagyu steak that was $250 is now $300. Also, your can of soup that was $5 is now going to be $7. So it drives everything up, no matter what it is. Because they're not taking that hit. They're not taking that shit on the chin. None of these companies are. Your Apple Watch or whatever it is, your Google phone, all going to be marked up at those stores anyway. So maybe you don't go to those stores south of 60th Street. You stay north of that and you hit the Google store, the Apple store there. That's probably going to affect a lot of businesses too, south of 60th Street, because people are going to notice the markup in the price. They're going to be like, wait, that's too... I can go to 20 blocks north and eat there for way cheaper and buy my groceries there for way cheaper. Because groceries are going to take a hit down there, without a doubt. Groceries, again, restaurants, a simple diner, a diner that costs you $30 to eat at might now cost you anywhere between $35 to $40 just because of congestion pricing. Again, the train system is going to be super crowded now because there are going to be people that are probably going to try to do it for a week or two. They're going to look at it and go, I'm spending $32 a day. Times 5 is this amount right here, because I can't do this shit in my head. Times 4. 4 weeks in a month. So, of course, guys, they're not giving firemen, cops, teachers, sanitators, they're not giving any city workers any kind of break. The MTA said no. My advice to you is, if you can cover your tags when you come into the city, cover your tags. By all means, screw the MTA, screw their bullshit. If you're a cop, you're a fireman, you're a teacher, you're a sanitation worker, correction officer, cover your tags. Only when you're south of 60th Street. Outside of that, uncover them. Hopefully, cops will look at that and be like, fuck it. Hopefully, cops will do the right thing and not pull anybody over for that. Screw your command. Screw a captain getting in your ass about writing you up. Don't do it. The MTA is stealing from us on a daily basis anyway by jacking the prices of transit, the trains and the bus. Now they're doing this bullshit and all the money's going to them and nothing to the city. At least I didn't read anything was coming back to the city. So fuck them. If you work for the city, guys, cover your tags. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get in trouble for that, but it'll be well fucking worth it if you guys do. Because guess who's doing it? This Negro is. Because fuck them. It annoys me to no end, guys, that they continuously do this shit and they do it. It'll make the system better. It gives us better trains. Fuck you, dude. Seriously, fuck you. It's bullshit. South of 60th Street, guys, cover your fucking tags. Outside of that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.